Have you ever felt like you're working harder than ever in your business? You're posting on social media, you're running ads. No matter what you do, it feels like you're stuck. Welcome to the Cody Hofhine Show, the place for entrepreneurs who want more clarity, more alignment, and more meaning in their businesses and in their lives. I'm Cody Hofhine, and each week I bring you lessons from my own journey and conversations with people who face the same struggles, challenges you're dealing with right now. Together, we'll explore the habits, the mindsets, and the decisions that create real success at work and at home. So let's dive right into this. You guys, if you've ever wondered why sales feel harder than they should, it usually comes back to this one thing. You're not crystal clear on who you're selling to. There are 4 criteria that will tell you instantly if you found the right people for the product or the service. Number 1, pain. The very first thing your ideal customer must have is pain. They can't just want what you're offering. They need to desperately need it. People don't buy products. They buy solutions to their pain. And here's the key. The pain is what you're going to be pitching. That's your sales pitch. When people are like, "What? I need to convince them about my product." There should never be convincing. It's the pain. It's the pain that you're pitching. People want to get rid of pain, and your product should solve that. If you can articulate the pain your prospect is experiencing more clearly than they can, they will naturally assume you have the solution. That's why some of the best marketing you'll ever do is not about convincing. It's about describing. It's about painting the picture of the problem in such a real way that the person listening, they feel understood. Because the truth is this, people don't buy because they understand you. They buy because they feel understood. And I want you to think about it. If someone is struggling with, let's say, growing their business, and I tell them, you're hustling harder than ever, but the growth just isn't showing up in your bank account, is it? They'll nod their head because I've described their pain. When you nail the pain, you never have to push the product. The product becomes the obvious solution. Number 2, ability to buy. The second thing your ideal customer must have is the ability to buy. This one sounds obvious, but I think Brendon Burchard always said it. He says, he'd always say a quote, he says, it sounds like it's common sense, but common sense isn't always common practice, right? This sounds obvious, but I see entrepreneurs miss this all the time. You could have the best product in the world. You could even solve their deepest pain, but if they don't have the money to afford your solution, you're going to burn yourself out chasing people who will never be able to buy. And here's the shift. You got to respect yourself and your business enough to sell to people who are ready and able to pay for your product. I've learned this the hard way, guys. Early on, I would spend hours coaching, negotiating, trying to convince people of who honestly they couldn't afford my product. And it always ended the same way. Frustration for me and guilt for them. So make sure the people you're targeting not only need your solution, but they can pay for it. Otherwise, you're setting yourself up for a business that struggles to scale. Number 3, easy to find, meaning your offer only works if the people you want to sell to are actually reachable. Now, here's how I think about this. There are really only 3 types of marketing, right? I've heard this from all the best out there, learn from some of the best. Number 1 is organic. This is the content you put out there, your post, your podcast, your YouTube, your email list. Number 2 is paid, meaning the ads that you put on Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube, where you can put money behind your message. The third one is the one that's most overlooked, and that's partnership marketing. This is one of the most overlooked but powerful strategies. It's about finding the groups, meaning your avatar, your person that you're trying to sell your product to. It's about finding the groups, communities, or masterminds where your audience already hangs out and partnering with those owners, partnering with those leaders that own those communities, that own those groups, that own those masterminds. And maybe you offer their group a training. Get your face in front of them, get your message in front of them so they get to know who you are, right? Maybe you create an affiliate for the owner of that group, the owner of that mastermind, the owner of that coaching program. But the point is, you borrow trust from the leader, from the owner of that group, who already have your audience's attention, right? If your target customer is scattered and impossible to find, you're in trouble. But if they're clustered in groups, following thought leaders or coaches, gurus, or hanging out in online communities, you just made your job a whole lot easier by joining those groups, joining those masterminds, putting yourself and teaming up with this partnership marketing. It's a fast way to grow your business. Number 4 is growing market. You got to pick an avatar where the category of people is expanding, not shrinking. This sounds so obvious, but I see products all the time. I'm like, what are we talking about? Let me give an example. You want to choose markets that are growing, and here's the good news. There are 3 categories that will always thrive: health, wealth, and relationships. So I want you to think about it. People will always pay to get healthier, to make or manage more money, and to have better relationships. Those markets never go away. But here's what I mean about a shrinking market. If you decided to start a business around selling newspapers today, it doesn't matter how good your marketing is, the market is dying, right? Literally. It's dying. People aren't reading newspapers anymore. The same is true for CDs, pagers, Blockbuster rentals. You would never bring these back. Why? Because it's a shrinking market. It's a dead market. So when you're deciding who to sell to, make sure they're in the market that's expanding, not contracting. So let me recap. If you want a thriving business, you've got to get crystal clear on who you're selling to. And that person must have 1, pain, that they're desperate for a solution. Number 2, the ability to buy. They can afford your solution. Number 3, easy to find, that you know how to reach them. You know how to find the groups, the masterminds where they're hiding. Number 4, a growing market, that they're in an industry or category that's expanding, not dying. Here's my challenge to you. Take a look at who you're selling to right now and ask yourself, do they meet all 4 criteria? If not, it might be time to adjust your focus. Because when you grab this right, when you get this right, sales stops feeling like a grind and business starts to feel like momentum. Thank you for tuning in today. If this episode was helpful, share it with someone you know who's hustling hard but might be chasing the wrong customers. And don't forget to subscribe so you know when the next episode hits. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you on the next episode.